Hello and welcome back to Creating with Shannon. I'm Shannon and I want to say thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to finish up the Halloween project we started yesterday. It was coming together pretty good. I was very excited about it. I really wanted to work on it earlier today, but I know I told you I'd be on at 3 o'clock today, so here I am, and now we're going to finish it. Plus, you guys can also kind of help me decide what I'm going to do with this. So let me just pull it up like this. Oh, wrong. Let's do it this way. Let's go. There we go. That's better. So this is what we're working on. The paper is the Gothic Raven by Decoupage Queen. Teresa herself painted it. And then we used the metal flakes. And look, remember how much I poured out yesterday? I poured a lot of it back in. There's lots here. So let me just check Facebook and make sure that I am on. Let me get a refresh. So then we did the gold flakes, metal flakes here. Hey, Deborah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for talking, because now I know that I am on and live. And then for here, we did the brick stencil by Decoupage Queen, and then we used a bunch of the different colors of the Stone Effect paste. So now today we're going to take it a step further. We're going to have some fun, and I'm going to take my face off the screen now. I'm going to have you give me some opinions. I know I want to do a little bit more with this, just so it pops a little more, and maybe a little bit with the book and the candlestick, but definitely we're going to age this because I want it to look like it's old. This is too gold for me. And then we're going to do something to the brick. And then remember yesterday, let me show you this part here, when I when I put the stencil from here to there, it picked up some of the paint, but so now it looks like some of the brick is just damaged. Oh, my son is calling in. Uh-oh. Let me just see. Hey, honey, I'm on a live video, sweetheart. Can I call you back in a little bit? All right, love you. Love you too. Bye-bye. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't tell him. He's in college in Tampa, and I get excited, though, every time he calls because, college kids, they're busy. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the metallic paint. This is lead. And what I want to do is I want to use some of it to just kind of highlight that Gothic window in the back because it's super cute, but I don't think it has enough, that it just doesn't stand out enough for me. So I want to make sure it stands out. So we're going to, this is what it looks like. Always have a handy wipe ready and handy just in case you're making a mistake. You can quickly fix it or erase it. So I'm just going to more or less just outline. This is going to give it a little bit of a shimmer. I wish I would have had more of a brown. I don't though, so that's why I want the lead. But you can see now it's sticking out a little bit more, so you can kind of see the design in the window a little bit better. Now last night I created a list of everything I used in the beginning of the project, and then tonight, later on, I will finish the list because I didn't want to write things down on the list that I was going to use today because sometimes I change my mind. So I was just going to wait. Okay, almost done. And do you have to do this to your paper? Absolutely not. I just like to do it. Now it looks, I don't know exactly what, there we go. Can you see that? See how it makes the window just stand out a little bit more? You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to trace the outline here too. I think when you do this, it just adds a little bit more depth to the paper. Again, this paper was hand painted and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love, love, love it. Okay, so there we go. See how cute that is? All right, now there's some heirloom pumpkins in the back. We have a blue one and a green one, so we're just gonna lighten those up just a little bit. All right, so this I'm going to use, this is the shade Sparkling Green. It's metallic. And I'm going to use it on the green pumpkin in the back. Just very, very light. And I'm only putting it to the dark sections of the pumpkin. Not necessarily where the light ones go. There you go. So he kind of, now you can kind of see him a little better back there. And then there's a blue one. But also on the blue one, there's a little bit of green. So I'm going to highlight that green with the green since I already have it out. And I don't have a sparkling blue, but what I do have is, I have this one. It's not really close. Let's see, what else do I have? I think I have every shimmer color because I love shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. Okay, so I see that Deborah, are you on Facebook or on YouTube? I'm just curious because the colors come in different red or blue. The comments come in depending on what platform you're on, and I just, oops. So that's okay. I'm just wondering. So again, I'm only taking and putting the blue where the dark sections are. I'm not really going to the light sections. I want to make sure that I keep the integrity of the shading and how she drew that pumpkin. There we go. So that has a little bit more accent on it now. See that? It just adds a little bit more to it. And then finally, I need to do something to the candlestick. So I have the metallic brass. So I'm going to do some of that here. And then I'm going to do, of course, my favorite. Just on the dark sections, I'm going to be using the sparkling gold, which one I love. All right, so, okay, YouTube. Thanks, Deborah. That's what I thought. So red comments are YouTube, and then blue are Facebook. Okay. So I'm going to start with the black. And I'm just going to apply this in the dark sections of this candlestick. It's called sparkling gold, but it looks in the jar like it's black. But you can really see it sparkle. But see, you want to add the detail. Look at that. See how much it changed the candlestick? Just by doing just that little bit. Just those little touches. Just to make it such a drastic difference. All right, now I'm going to add some of this. Oops. The metallic brass. There we go. And the candlestick has several different colors because it is hand painted. So I'm going to try to keep the brass in the shades, in the areas where it matches. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just adding a little bit of shimmer. And adding a little bit more definition to the candlestick. That went on a little thick right here. Let me smooth that out real quick. And a little bit at the bottom. Also, I'm going to use a little bit of the same color right here on the bottom of with this book. There we go. So see, this just makes it just stand out a little bit more. See that? Thanks, Deborah. I love it. This is I love decorating and adding a little bit more to everything. Just to add some depth. Okay, so here we have a little bit of red, reddish orange. So I'm going to be using the golden red. Just a little bit part of the books. Just to add. There we go. A little bit up here. And you know what? I'm going to add a little bit to the candle. I know we added some the wax paste yesterday to the candle, but I'm going to add a little bit of this too because there we go. Wow. Okay, so there we go. I think the paper is pretty good. You know what though? I changed my mind. One more thing. The whites. See where the whites are? Let's give them a little bit of shimmer too. Let's go ahead and use the sparkling gel. I'm going to use a transparent silver just because I can't leave the white out. Find a little brush. There we go. Now, not putting it on heavy. I'm just kind of putting it where the white is just to help accentuate the white. See how that just adds a little bit to it? I'm going to do a little bit down here on the book. Not much. All right, maybe a little bit on the pumpkin too. Somebody needs to tell me to step away from the shimmer. All right, there we go. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Nancy. Appreciate that. Very nice. All right, so now we're going to decorate and tone down this gold. I knew what I was going to do the whole time, and I'm just hoping it's going to turn out as good as it did in my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called liquid patina. It's this little jar here. It is solvent based, so it does stink. So I'm going to turn my fan on because I don't like that. I don't like to have that smell. It's not awful, but it's strong. And I'm going to use it's called patina. And I'm going to try to keep it just directly on just the gold part. Maybe let's see. Hey, let's zoom in and see if. There we go. So you can just kind of see. Oh, you can also see the paper better too. All right, let's see how this is. Be careful. It does get your fingers pretty good. Now, the reason why I wanted to put this on is because I wanted the gold and the copper to look aged. I wanted to look more like, ooh, that's pretty. Just aged. And it's catching in all the grooves and the lines, which is gorgeous. All right, let me zoom back out so you can see the rest. Now you can kind of see the difference between the side with the liquid patina and the side without, because see how bright it is? We really wanted to tone it down. What my goal was I wanted to tie this into the window. Whew. Yeah, I think it does too. I think it highlights the window for sure. All right, now I need to go along the edge where we have other golden copper leaf. Hopefully not getting it too much on the paper. Today's going to go by way faster than yesterday did. All right. What we'll do is we'll probably let this dry for a minute, and I'll probably add one more coat just because I think it needs to be a little bit darker. And if it's not as dark as I think it needs to be, I'll probably add some umber antique paste or something from maybe gold. I don't know, something from the wax paste. The wax paste go better on the edges. The antique, hey Cheryl, the antique paste generally goes in the cracks. So like if I wanted to put something in the cracks of the brick, I could definitely, the antique paste would go better there, but I don't want to do that because remember yesterday we specifically blended that red and black to match the bricks in this window. All right, I just want to quick try to get some of this stuff off. All right, so now the bricks for me they're too new. We need to age them up a little bit. And I was trying to think of the best way to do it. Like I could dry brush some black paint on it. You know, I could do all kinds of different things. I could do wash. But what I was playing with while I was waiting to come on is I took the black wax paste and I put it down here in the corner. Let me show you what it looks like. Let me bring it right up on here. Right here. So see where it kind of makes the brick look like it's a little bit more aged and distressed? Because this to me reminds me like an old window. So it would definitely have to be something that was, you know, old. So let's zoom in for this so you can see. Just in a couple bricks and then we'll zoom back out. So, and then also yesterday, remember how I had that awful line here? I did go back and I did fix that because this side turned out perfect because the way I laid my stencil. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to go back and watch the video on how I laid out the stencil. This was the first way, this was the second way, and this was the better way. All right. So I'm just going to take some of the black, and I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to just lightly dust because, you know, bricks are not perfect. So like when I was stenciling these yesterday, I wasn't trying to make sure that it was all nice and flat. Because especially the old bricks, they were handmade, so they are not perfect. Plus, because we used, you know, all the different stone paste colors, that adds to the depth too. So look at this. What do you think? Does it look like real bricks? Ah, you're funny. Right. So I'm going to continue to just dust it with a little bit of this. Trying to keep it on the screen so you can see it. Thanks, Nancy. I do have two things that we're going to be adding to the brick for fun. So just stay tuned for that. That might take a little bit of time. Okay, so I just wanted to zoom out so just so you could see kind of the difference. From here to here has the wax paste, and this side is just from the stencil. So you can definitely see the difference. For me, this side looks like it's real authentic brick, and this side looks like a crafter did it. All right. Now, do you think I need to put any other color over this, or do you think the black wax paste is going to be enough? I basically have every color, but some of the colors just wouldn't work. Like I don't think purple or blue would work. I think the red would be too, the red to me looks more like a pink. Maybe a little bit of silver? And black is enough. Thanks, Nancy. And some of the gold did stick on here. I'm just going to kind of hide that a little bit with the black. In a perfect circumstance, if you're not doing your project live, you can let the wax paste dry before you put on your gold flakes. All right, now I'm just going along the edge just to give some complete definitive lines. I'll go all the way around. I find that framing whatever you're working on in just adds a lot to the look. So all right, yay! I am digging this. I hope you guys are liking it too. So I dropped in the top the link to my new group, Makers and Creators. What I'm going to do is every time I go live, I'm going to put the video over there. That way it's not on my main page. And then I'll put the list of everything we used there too. That way you always have somewhere to refer back to. And also, if you guys want to share stuff, that's a perfect place for you guys to share. Or get ideas, ask opinions. All right, where's the cap? All right, so I'm going to do one more layer of the patina. It feels like it's a little sticky, but all right, where did I put you? Here it is. Hey, Cindy. Gray silver, that would look in the middle gray on the window. Yes, okay. Let's see. I just used my brush. I'm going to use the same brush. There it is. Because when you use the liquid patina and whatever brush you use, you have to wash it with, I always use this Solvent. You can't use it with just, you cannot wash it with soap and water because it just will gum up on you. It's kind of like the fine line crackle. Oh, there we go. So the second coat is getting more of the look that I was going for. Again, it's a little stinky. So either have a fan handy or make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. I'm sure there's a health warning on it. I didn't look. Seems like though everything today has a health warning on it, right? All right, woo! Love it. Okay, so that is going to dry. So what I do is, because I'm done with the liquid patina, to clean, you just open up the Solvent. Let me just show you. Oops. And this stuff smells just as bad. You just stick your brush in there. And then what I do is, after I dipped in the solvent, kind of got a liquid patina off, then I'll take it over to the sink and I'll wash it. But for right now, I'll just wipe it down with my baby wipe just to keep it so it doesn't get dirty, stay dirty. All right, now we're going to have some more fun. So remember, we have this was an accident that I made, but we're going to turn it into something fun. But before we do that, I think we're going to add a little bit. What do you think? Should we add some rust? I have the little patina rust kit. I love doing the rust. Let me show you what it looks like. I did it on this little house here. So I put some rust at the top, dripping down the sides, and a little bit on the windows here. Some on the roof, down the windows. But I'm thinking that maybe a little bit of rust, a little bit, not a lot. And then we'll come in with some moss. And then I think we'll call it a day. Oh, no, there's one thing I want to put on top of it just to make it look old. Okay, so let's do that. So there is a rust effect kit. It comes with the powder and then the 3 colors, green, blue, and yellow, or brown. Yellow, brown. Oops, I need the other one. Yellow, brown, and yellowish red. Okay. Thanks, Deborah. Now, when you put this on, you have to mix the powder. See this powder? This is what turns to rust when you use the activator here. But you have to use this on here, and you have to get it to stick. So technically, we need to put it on, but we need to put it on with a paint, and it might not stick to where the wax paste is. So, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, rust has a mind of its own. It does whatever it wants anyway. So I'm just going to take a little scoop of the rust. I don't need that much because I'm not going to be doing a lot of rust. And then I'm going to use this color. What color is this again? Lead. And I'm going to mix it up. So I'm mixing it up because I want to make sure that I have those little metal flecks all in my paint. So when I put the paint on, it has metal on it. All right, I'm going to close up my paint. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning to wipe these. I can't tell you how many times I go to open something and I can't get it open. All right. So let me get my little brush here. And I'm thinking if we're going to have, this is going to be mossy, we're going to put some rust around here. So what I'm doing is I'm just patting, pouncing, patting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 colors. I think it's the yellow one that makes the rust stand out pretty good. Let's zoom in. Get you zoomed in. And you put it on right where you had the paint. You can let it drip off. I always mix just because. Ooh, come on, is that one? I don't think that one's open. I grabbed the wrong blue one. I have 2 kits right here. Let me get this one. Now, it takes a little while for the effect to take place. And we're going to do a little bit up here. See where the seam is? Oops. See this seam? I'm not really digging that seam. It looks forced. So this is a great way to hide. So I'm just going to... Oops. Let me zoom back out. I keep forgetting that I'm zoomed in, and then you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm putting it on like this. I'm just sporadically putting it on. Now you can put these colors on with a brush too. So like I could use my brush, and now I can just pounce it right where I have the paint. And I'm going to add it. Now that'll just take a second. I don't know. I've never tried to hurry it. Let me try. Let me just dry it a little bit because we want to be able to put the moss on. Speaking of that, make sure I have my glue gun handy. I can see it turning rust. Now this kit works really good for small projects, but when I'm doing big furniture, I always use a Dixie Belle. Dixie Belle makes great, awesome patina products. I've used them on several pieces of furniture. Alright. You can see the rust starting to come through. And the rust is, obviously it's going to blend with, the colors of the brick. And if you're not happy with the way the color turned out, what I do is I just add another layer. Hey Tina, thanks for joining me. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more because I want a little bit deeper rust color. When everything is all dried and I stage it, hey Beth, thanks for tuning in. This will have already rusted and it'll change. It is a chemical reaction, so it does take sometimes. It takes like I think 2 hours to fully. Let's see if I can show you better. Let's go right down here. So see, you can if I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's starting. I can see where it's starting. That the rust color starting to come through. You can see it over here too. So right where the rust is, that's where we're going to focus on putting our moss. Let me put. I got a new glue gun, guys, because the other one kept burning the crud out of my fingers. So this one heats up really quick. There's a little red light. When that red light turns green, it is ready, and the hole is small, so I don't get burnt. All right, let's clean these up. So get some moss out here. I don't know what kind of moss this is, but it's super soft. It doesn't really. It just says Naturals by Ashland. I think I got it at Joann's. But it's the most it's very realistic because it's real. So, but we're gonna put some on here because we want it to look like there's actually moss coming out of the brick. So we're gonna kind of break some of this up because we don't need big clumps. We want little parts. Oh, look, see, it already turned green. See how fast that works? So we're gonna put some over here. I'm going to kind of focus by where the rust is because what the rust means is there's water. So if there's water, that generally means something's going to grow there, like obviously the moss. A little bit right here. One thing about the glue sticks is the spider webs. Okay, so let's see that. Now this will look a lot different when this rust starts to really rust. All right, now let's go up here. Got a little bit of moss up here. Oops. A little bit more. Just going to pull some apart here. All right, so I wish this would zoom out a little bit more. But you guys get the idea. Maybe I should put, maybe we'll hang some. I don't want to put too much on, but I want to make sure that I have it balanced, if that makes sense. Maybe a little bit more down here. And I'm kind of just gluing down a certain section, letting the rest of it just kind of flow a little bit and see how it lands. A little bit more here. Boy, this glue gun, I've only used it twice. Really gives you the strings. Woo. All right, so do you think I should... Hey, Nina! Oh my gosh, I was just talking about you today with Judy. I told her that I missed you. Let's see, maybe I should put some... Maybe just a little bit of... Just a very teeny piece right over here. Again, we don't want to do anything too crazy. And Pentart does make a really awesome moss paste that you can put on. It comes in 2 different colors, the light and the dark. And then you use your heat gun, and it puffs up. And it looks pretty authentic, too. But obviously not as authentic as this real stuff. All right. I love it, love, love it. Okay. Now, there's one more thing that I want to do, and I hope it doesn't ruin it. It should not. I've done it before, but you just never know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of these strings. I need to make this look like a window, like glass on it, I think. I don't know, because if it's an old window, it might not have glass. It might just be straight through. But anyway, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to use the product called Glossy Varnish. And I'm going to pour a thin layer over the entire paper. And when that dries, it's going to dry that yellowish color, amber color, so it's going to look like it's an old window. It's going to kind of, strings, it's going to kind of look like this. See this yellow color? Not quite as dark, but I just don't know how much it's going to take. So I have 2 handy here. So let's go ahead and we're going to do it. Oh, that one's stuck. There we go. That's because I did not wipe the rim. And whenever I can, if I can, I try to leave these plastic or the tops on, and then I push them back down. That way I don't dry my products out. But at a certain point, they do need to come off. All right, so let's just hope that there's enough in here so I don't have to try to pry this one open. All right. So I'm just going to pour it all in here. And then I'm going to kind of just run it around, making sure it's going to cover my entire paper. Then to let it dry, I want to make sure that I leave it on a level surface. I can't tell you how many times I've done something and I have it on a level surface, but then I move it, and guess what? It's not on a level surface. Thanks, Cheryl. I love it. I'm glad you like it. Now, just like right now, it's very shiny, very glossy, because that's the name of it, Glossy Varnish. However, when it dries, it's going to have that amber look to it. And I'm sorry, that's my light. It's gleaming in the reflection. Let me see if I turn it off and we can see it better. There we go. So look, oh my gosh. So basically, it's done. It's just got to dry. So what do you think? I want to hear what you think. Do you love it as much as I do? Oh gosh, my hair's a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, I've got brown paint or patina on my face. Look, gross. So I'm going to go ahead and take me off camera because we don't need to see that mess. This, I'll finish putting on the rest of the list of what I used, and I'm going to move it over to the group. So if you're looking for it, it'll be on the group. The new group, it's on the bottom, or it's on the pin to the top of this live. It's called Shannon's Makers and Creators. And this is where we're going to have all this kind of stuff. This, I think anybody can do it. You saw me, we whipped it out in 2 days within 2 hours, I think. But I think you can do it. I know you can do it. And if you do it, you have to tag me. I have to see it. Oh, you know what, Cheryl? You read my mind. I wasn't going to tell everybody yet, but I'll go ahead and tell you. In this group, I'm going to do Pentarch Basics. Like I know that some people have already done it, but in this group, I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to take one product, and I'm going to just show you what it does. I'm not going to do long videos. I'm just going to do short to the point and try to have them organized where you can refer back to them. So, but yes, Cheryl, that was coming. You read my mind. But Pentarch, there are so many, and the products are awesome. And sometimes I forget that I have them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to use this one. But anyway, so I can't tell you how much I love this. Normally I take the stuff that I make and I take it to my little antique booth or when I used to have a store and I'd sell it. But this one I might just have to keep. Oh, and one thing I did forget is the sides of the wood. I didn't decorate those. What I'll do is I'm just going to paint it black. Just so it doesn't take away from the colors here. It'll be just framed in black. All right. So that is today's project. Today's and yesterday's. Let me see if I can get that off. Oh, there we go. Kits will be coming soon. And so if you like stuff like this, you are going to love the kits because the kits are going to be fun. They'll be creative. They're not going to be just plain old boring, simple, projects that were just thrown together. They're going to actually be fun things that you're going to want to display or you're going to want to give to somebody. So I hope you are interested in them. And if you're not, that's okay. You just keep supporting me the way you do. Watch, check in with me, say hello. I appreciate everybody. So, yeah, I'll update the list of everything I used. And I am out of the terracotta, where is it right here? This one, the terracotta stone paste. But I'm ordering more. And I'm going to be in Decoupage Queen's Castle next. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I don't know my own strength. I'm going to be seeing her, and I'm going to be getting everything I'm going to order. I'm just going to pick it up there. So I'm going to go shopping and go crazy. So anyway, let's see. Nancy, I thought it would be kind of cool to draw a hole to the... Oh, yeah, that would be. I love that idea. Put a light in there so it lights up. Ooh, very, very creative. Oh, no, Pamela, I'm sorry. Yeah, what we did is we finished. We decorated. We put rust and moss and clear coat that should dry like a antique window. Definitely, if you have time, go back and check it out. All right, guys. I just want to say thank you for supporting me as always. And questions, reach out. I will be announcing the kits. If you're on the wait list, you'll get an email the 29th. If you don't get an email, just DM me and say, I did get the email. And then September 1st for everybody who's not on the wait list. Okay? Thank you, guys. Have a fabulous day and share.